Hello, I'm the CommanderZander. I remember it so that a stats critic doesn't have to. And neither should you. Oh, Dan Schneider, when will you ever learn? I recently got a request by a fan who wanted me to do a review of a new show that was produced by Dan Schneider that I learned after research. The show is called Game Shakers. And instead of following through with that request, I'm going to use Game Shakers as the focal point of my new editorial. Why the fuck is Dan Schneider a fucking idiot? Okay, for those who don't know the Dan Schneider tree, it all started with a wonderful show in the 90s called All That, which gave way to all of these stars that eventually got their own shows on Nickelodeon and were also a big part of my childhood. Amanda Bynes got her own show, The Amanda Show. And from that show came Drake and Josh, who got their own TV show. From that show came Miranda Cosgrove, who got her own TV show, iCarly. And from that show came way for Jeanette McCurdy, who got her own show, Sam and Cat, starring her in that abomination that's Ariana Grande. But that's for the music battle. Go watch that video. Jamie Lynn Spears also got her own TV show based off of being on All That. Zoe 101. Not much after that. And then there's Kenan and Kel. They also had a TV show in the 90s based off of their success and All That, called Kenan and Kel. And in my opinion, this was the Drake and Josh before Drake and Josh. That show lasted for 4 seasons, from 96 until 2000. What the hell has Kel Mitchell done in that time? Pretty much just be the voiceover of one of the dogs that's a friend of Clifford and Clifford the big red dog. And again, there's a review of that. Go watch that. Kenan, in the meanwhile, has built on that success and is now on the actual Saturday Night Live. So Dan Schneider decided, well, let's make Kel relevant again by giving him his own show on Nickelodeon. Man, has that not worked out well. Dan Schneider, you do not get it. You are ruining my childhood with these new fucking shows. Why? Because you'd rather take the popular fork in the road than what made you a success. This is an absolute abomination, and I can't believe that I have to waste another editorial ranting off about how my childhood's essentially been ruined, and Dan Schneider is the main reason why. Because he decided to do what's popular. In other words, what's trending. A fucking fad that has not worked out on this channel. Because he's tried to compete with Disney, and guess how that has worked out? Not too well. I saw little bits and pieces of what I can about this new show, Game Shakers, and believe me, it is another lame-ass show that has further doomed Nickelodeon to its subplot. iCarly started the downfall. Then Victoria's made it worse. Then Sam and Cat made it a hell of a show. Then Bella and the Bulldogs, and I even had to do a review of that one, which you can watch on YouTube. And now there's this one, Game Shakers. And it's not what it seems like. It's not about gaming. It's about a bunch of shit that makes no fucking sense. So why the hell do I have to fucking waste another editorial ripping on how I missed my childhood? Because apparently Dan Schneider has not gotten it through his thick head, which has a ego dwarfing what little sized brain he has left. He continues to poison the great nostalgic of the 90s with this abomination of crap just for the current people who are watching Nickelodeon. Why would you do something as stupid as that when it has not worked out before and it still continues to not work now? My advice for Dan Schneider is, go back to what made you relevant. Do stuff that you know will get kids to watch, and you know will be a great reminder of what made you great, what made all the former stars great, and what made Nickelodeon great in the 90s. Besides SpongeBob and the Fairly Odd Parents and all that stuff, these were shows that were actually legit and we got to watch after school and enjoy ourselves with. Now when we come home from school, we're stuck with this abomination that is Game Shakers, or Sam and Cat, or Bella and the fucking Bulldogs. Dan Schneider, I hope you're watching this because you need to freaking get your act together in a hurry before you lose a shit ton of fans which is amazing if there are still a shit ton of fans watching Nickelodeon. Dan Schneider, let this be a wake-up call for you. I'm the CommanderZander. I remember something that sounds so great, doesn't do it. Neither should you.